Weili comes out. Now, I got to back up. Weili's going to fight Joanna. That's not an easy night out. Joanna's nobody's fool. She's never been in. Okay? If you have your opinion, let's say you have the opinion that Weili can beat Joanna. Okay, great. So do you think that Weili can beat Valentina Shevchenko? I mean, I probably just made you think there, right? Because people are saying Shevchenko could beat up Henry Cejudo. People are saying Shevchenko's the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. Not the women, in the sport. I mean, that dialogue is out there. That's a very real thing. What I'm offering for you is do not forget that Joanna went round for round, toe for toe with the Bullet 3 times. 3 times. Kickboxing, MMA. Don't forget she won rounds against the Bullet 3 times. Kickboxing, MMA. I'm just offering for you to, if you think somebody can run over Joanna, you have the right to the opinion, but I will come from the other side of, I'm going to have to see it to believe it. Now, can Weili beat Joanna? Yeah, you bet your ass she can. She's the world champion. Can Joanna beat Weili? You better bet your ass she can. Now, here's why I make this video. Weili came out, and she seems like a perfectly charming gal. Everything seems to be going her way. She is steamrolling all of the competition. She came out and she said, I am going to destroy an angry and emotional Joanna within 2 rounds. I got no problem with a fighter making a prediction, even if history says nobody can destroy Joanna in 2 rounds. You want to be the first? Who might have said you can't do it? But I would wonder, why poke the bear? Why do you got to poke the bear? Is that ever a good thing to do? Nobody's ever got in Joanna's face. Maybe it's exactly the thing to do. Maybe it's exactly the way you treat the bully in the room. Maybe. I'm not against Weili. I couldn't help but notice. All I'm doing is bringing to you an observation. I noticed she poked the bear. She poked one rough and tumble bear. It also comes back to her point where she called Joanna angry and emotional. That is a very real thing. If you were to compare the two, Joanna does come into the ring with a lot more intensity, and Weili would fall more into that Fedor. You guys will remember Crow Cop, how stoic he was. You never knew what Crow Cop was thinking. He didn't have any angry, at least body language-wise. Prior to fights on the interview, you couldn't work Crow Cop up. There was just no, it's my turn to fight. Okay, great. Very unique. But he stood out because of that. Randy Couture was one of these guys where he would tell jokes to his cornermen in between rounds. And is that an act? Is that somebody pretending to be calm? Maybe, sure. But we are whoever we pretend to be. If you pretend to be calm, you are calm. That's just how it works. If you pretend to be mad, you are mad. That's just how it works. And you will have guys that come out with an intensity. Joe Warren comes to mind. You guys remember Joe Warren? World champion in Greco, 2 or 3-time Bellator world. I've lost track. He won so many champions, but he was pissed. He was hot. He was angry. Or maybe you have the Ben Askren approach. Hit my music. Let's dance a little bit to the ring. See what happens then. It's a very real thing, but nobody is wrong. The calm guys all think they have the right answer. Well, they do for themselves. And the angry, intense guys think they have the right answer. Right, Wanderlei Silva. He's gonna fight you in the hotel if he sees. He's gonna be pissed all week long. He did have the right approach for him. 22 straight victories proved Wanderlei had it figured out for him. So I don't know that Weili can look at Joanna and think that she has a leg up. They have different approaches. Weili is the champion of the world. Far be it from any of us to question what she is capable of. That, right? In fairness, Joanna was the champion of the world just a minute ago. I'm just saying, if I'm in Weili's shoes, and I appreciate what she's doing, she's giving us a lot of fun. I don't know if you poke the bear. Joanna just strikes me as the girl you don't piss off. Do you guys have the same opinion? I mean, doesn't she kind of strike you as the girl that you're a little bit on eggshells around? It's probably a good idea to keep Joanna happy. That's my perception. What do you think? My producer just asked me a question. He said, well, Chael, which one were you? Did you have to be angry or not? And I will tell you, I tried to dabble with both. In my wrestling career, I never had to be angry, but nobody in the history of wrestling had to be angry. That just wasn't a thing. Nobody came out there intense and mad. As a matter of fact, to be quite literal, one wrestler in my life I've seen do that, his name was Jake Herbert. And he went on and won national titles and world medals and Olympic teams. I mean, this guy really had a special career, but the camera used to lock on him because they were so shocked. He'd be staring his opponent down. He'd be huffing and just nobody did it. And in wrestling, you'd have 4 or 5 matches in one day. You could have 6 matches in one day based on the there was no time to be angry. It was just warm up, walk out, straps up, headgear on. It was one of these things. So as I transfer that level of combat and level of competition into MMA, just wasn't a part of it. And I also came through Team Quest, Randy Couture, Dan Henderson, Matt Lindland. These guys were all calm. If anything, they were excited to compete. We liked to go out and compete. And it was hard to find competitions. We were happy to be there. But I would see other guys come along. Vanderlei, bring his name back up. I would see him. I would watch him on television. I would watch him beating guy after guy after guy, regardless of weight class. And he was angry. I thought, you know what? I'm going to try that approach for a little bit. Let me just see how I respond to the angry approach. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was an act for the most part. But you were able, through your physical actions, to convince the rest of your body. Like any great actor. You go watch a great actor in Hollywood that was a fantastic cowboy. Well, yes, he got into the character. John Wayne believed he was a cowboy. He believed he was riding a horse and had a 6-shooter, even though he took a limo home to a mansion at night. I mean, it was one of these things. You can act and become somebody, and I did try the angry angle for a while. I liked it. I had a lot of success with it. It was also a way to flip that switch. You're in the locker room, you're with your team. Some of your favorite guys in the whole world is who you put in your corner. There's just no tension. You're warming up. There's no tension. They come and call you. Time to walk out the door. Boom, flip the switch. I liked it. I had some good success with it. Overall, I guess I would put myself as the calm guy, as the more of the focused guy. I was kind of into setting 3 things aside. Whatever those 3 things were, whether it was move forward, attack, keep him down, whatever it was, but those 3 things became a larger representation of who I was as a competitor. And as long as I did whatever those 3 things I promised myself I would do, if I did those regardless of the outcome, I could live with it. If I deviated from that, if I couldn't stay focused to the promise I had made myself, then it was a hard win or lose. Boy, it was a little bit more difficult. So that would be my answer.
Thanks for liking and subscribing to the bad guy of YouTube. Chael Sonnen, he's a-coming, breaking down your fighting news. Better subscribe to the bad guy right here on YouTube.